Hi, my name is Gwendolyn Giarania, also known as Tronkung Shakya and Shubra Om, but I'm just Gwen. I am a Buddhist priest, yoga instructor, Reiki master, and this is my center, my healing center, Quiet Transformations, where I teach Zen Buddhism and yoga classes, all levels of yoga classes, and do Reiki, healing, and give attunements. I've been doing these for a long time, but this is my first attempt to share. I've been doing some videos. I started some videos over the summer. Today it's March. So I started some videos over the summer, but I haven't uploaded anything yet. So I'm probably going to upload some of my older videos. I have some before fasting, after fasting. I also do raw foods nutrition and fasting. So I'm going to be sharing some of that with you. As well as just sharing my own yoga classes and little snippets of yoga classes, some beginner, some advanced. Enjoy and take what you can. Thank you. Namaste. I'm going to start off today with a beginner yoga class. I just actually had to think about that, what I'm going to start with today. What I do is Zen yoga. So I do go inside to figure out exactly what I'm going to do anytime I sit down to do yoga. Please enjoy and follow along as you will. I'm just going to do a small introduction to basically what I do for my yoga practices. Just a beginning yoga practice. We'll start with 3 ohms. Inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling. Exhale, extend to the side. Inhale up to the ceiling. Exhale to the side. Inhale up to the ceiling and slightly back. Exhale, come forward. Reach your hands forward as far as you can. Let your hands slide forward. And I can bring my forehead all the way down to the ground in this pose, but some of you can't. So you're just going to get into the pose wherever you are. Many people are right here. That's your spot. Or even here. However far down you can reach, let your hands slide forward. And generally speaking, if you are, or rather wherever you are, breathing out is where you're going to pull just a little bit further. Because always when you're doing yoga, you are relaxing into the pose. Walking your hands over to the left side, you're going to extend over your left knee. And keep your breath steady and long. Walking your hands over to the other side. Breathing deeply. A few nice, long, even breaths. Always breathing through your nose. And walk your hands back to center. Breathing into the pose one more time, relaxing. And walk your hands back till you're sitting tall again. Note, I'm sitting in full lotus with both of my feet up. I'm going to go over the other ways that we might be sitting. We could sit like this with both of our feet flat, or this is easy pose, both of our feet underneath us. This is where many of us will be as beginners. But our torso is tall and our crown is lifting to the ceiling. Half lotus. One foot is on the floor, the other foot is up on the other thigh. And if we're in half lotus or if we're in full lotus, we want to practice doing it on both sides for balance. Whatever we do in yoga, we'll try to stay balanced. I'm going to go back to full lotus. And centering. Next pose. You're going to clasp your hands behind you, lacing your fingers together. Note how that opens up your chest. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. And hold. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. So when you're holding a pose, you're never holding your breath. And with a big inhale, exhale, come forward. Again, we're coming forward as much as we can, keeping our back straight, keeping our hands lifting towards the ceiling. And I can come all the way down with my forehead on the ground, but many of you can't. I'll also do some videos with some students so you can see the different levels where people are. And while you're in this pose, wherever you are, maybe up here, here, wherever you are, while you're in this pose, turn your head to the left, turn your head to the right. And inhale, come up, hands on your knees. After that pose, I like to do some shoulder rolls. Roll your shoulders back, roll your shoulders forward, and back, and forward, and back, and forward. And bring your shoulders back, and breathing here. Let's do some neck rolls next. For my neck rolls, I like to go nice and slow. So first thing you're going to do is just bring your chin to your chest. Keep your torso tall. And take a complete breath. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And gently roll your neck around till you come to the side. When you're at the side, your ear is going to be pulling down towards your shoulder. Take a complete breath here. Roll your head back gently, chin reaching towards the ceiling. Complete breath and roll to the other side. Again, be aware of your ear pulling down to your shoulder. Your shoulder is still down, pulling towards the earth. And roll forward, chin in your chest again. Now, we've only gone around in one direction. We're going to do the same thing going in the other direction after we take a complete breath at the front. Roll to the side again. When you just came from, take a complete breath here. Roll to the back, take a complete breath here. And to the side, another complete breath. And front. Complete breath. Inhale, come up. Now, we're going to do the same thing, but this time, only thing we're going to move is our eyes. Okay, so this is an eye exercise, or asana. First, inhale, looking straight up towards the ceiling, towards the top of your head. Complete breath. And now, bring your eyes over to the right. Complete breath. And down. Complete breath. Left. Complete breath. And up. Complete breath. Other direction. Left. Down. Right. And up. Close your eyes, rest your eyes for a few breaths. And we're going to do one more from our comfortable seated posture. Bring your left hand to your right knee. This is just a gentle warm-up twist. All of these are just gentle warm-ups. I like to warm up very gently. Left hand on right knee. Your other hand, I'm going to turn around just so you can see. Your other hand is to the middle of your back, fingers facing back, and you look over your shoulder. Again, take a few deep breaths here through your nose. Keep focusing on your breath and all of your body sensations as you're in a pose. Inhale, come forward. And exhale to the other side. So it's going to look like this from the front and from the side. And inhale. Come back to the front. Now release your feet and your legs from your comfortable seated posture, bringing your feet together for the butterfly. first thing I like to do, this is not the first thing I like to do, but I feel like doing it now. Let's just gently move our knees very gently up and down. Fast. And then come back down. We're reaching our knees for the ground, and our feet, our heels are as close to our torso as we can, but keeping a lift through our torso. Grab onto the fronts of your toes and pull your feet and your toes up and in towards your navel. So you're coming up like this. And that's about as far as I can go. And I practice this a lot. So wherever you are is where you are. This is a very good posture for your knees, for your ankles, for your toes. And exhale out. Let's do this 3 times. Inhale up. Exhale, release, relax. Inhale up. Notice how my knees come closer to the ground when I lift up. Exhale, release. Now take your 2 front fingers, grab onto your big toes. Nice firm grip. Inhale deeply here. Exhale, come forward. And as with everything else, you're going to come forward as much as you can. Always stop yourself. Listen to your body. Your body will know when you should stop. And taking deep breaths, you can try to push down further into the pose as you exhale. You may push your elbows onto your knees to help bring your knees down and keep them down as you come down. So, again, I'm going to do a side view. As you're doing this pose, you might just be here, or here, 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 wherever you are, that's your pose. Just get into your pose and relax and breathe there, wherever it is. Or you can come down here. That's the more advanced pose for the very flexible. Or perhaps you can't move very well. Another thing is noting how low my knees are. Maybe your knees can only come down to here. Again, that's your pose. Wherever your pose is, well, that's going to change. Now, what I like to do after that, what we're going to do after that, don't always do any of these things. But these are all good warm-ups. Keep your hold on your toes as you come up. And notice wherever we were in Baddha Konasana or the butterfly, the back stays straight as much as you can. Now, you're going to keep hold on your toes and come onto your bottom. You're going to try and balance on your bottom. So wherever you are, balancing, slowly try to straighten your legs out. As with everything else, this means, well, you might be here, or if you can completely straighten your legs out. And that's your pose. Once you're here, you can try to bring your feet closer to your head, pushing out at your elbows. And if you've got your straight legs, you can release your hands, coming into a Navasana or boat pose. But let's say you're here, this is as much as you can straighten. Especially one thing that happens when you're trying this pose, especially for the first time, is you're trying to straighten your legs. You're trying really hard and you're going to go backwards. Which is, whoops, I'm just trying to get up like that. Which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine to roll backwards. Roll with it. Use your back and enjoy. Okay, so say we're here. Now we're going to open the legs wide. Get a nice gentle stretch through our inner thighs. And again, this may be you, or rather more what you look like. Okay, or nice and wide. Bend your knees and push your feet out. So we're going to come to a wide angle pose. Bring your hands out in front and slide your hands forward. As with everything else, some can come all the way down, or this is our pose. And our legs can be all the way out here, or in here. Maybe this is where we are. Everybody's in a different place. Coming all the way down as far as we can, getting a nice stretch through our inner thighs. Wherever we are. Walking your hands over to the right side. Grab onto your leg wherever you can. I can reach my foot or my ankle. Maybe you can just reach over here. So actually, just for that sake, I'm going to come in a little bit closer. Reach your other arm over your ear and reach towards your toes. This is reaching towards your toes. And reach as far as you can. Some of you can reach your toes and come down further. Some of you can bring your head down to your knee. That's more advanced. So, I'd say most of us are probably somewhere around here. And let's walk our hands back to the center. Slide down again. What you'll find is, if you're doing this and you come down to the center, go to the side, come back to the center, go to the other side, which is where we're going to go. Come back to the center. Each time you come to the center, you can go down a little bit more. Walking your hands over to the other side now. Grabbing onto your leg, your ankle, or your foot. Reach your other arm over your ear. Breathe into your pose. This relaxing into your pose is where you're really going to get the benefits from your pose. And it's going to allow you to go deeper and deeper the more you do it. Note my feet are flexed. And walk back to the center. Slide forward one more time. And walk your feet. Hands back in. Now bringing your knees together. Come onto your hands and knees. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. First thing to do here, and you'll do this depending on how you feel. After all that wide angle pose, it's really nice to just loosen up in your hips. So begin by doing hip circles in one direction, getting wider and wider till you're coming all the way down, all the way forward, all the way back, side, forward, and back, forward. Come back to center. And then go in the opposite direction. Small hip circles, getting larger and larger. And all the way back and forward, back, side, forward, back, side, forward, back, side, forward, and back to center. Now, very good for the spine. We're going to inhale, arching up. Exhale, arching down, looking up. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And now we can involve our legs. As we inhale, bring the right knee in towards the forehead. Exhale, extend it out and up as you look up. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. And bring it back down, back to a flat back table. Inhale, left knee in. Exhale, extend it out and up. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out and up. Inhale, back to your table. Exhale, sit back onto your heels, extend your hands forward. This is child's pose. We just did cat dog. And we're just resting. Bringing your hands back, clasping your hands on top of your back. You're going to reach your hands up towards your head as high as you can go. And lift your seat. Keep lifting your hands towards your head. And keep breathing. Long, even breaths through your nose. Exhale, come down. Release. And now we're still in child's pose. This time we have our hands by our sides. We're just resting. Bring your hands forward. We're going to go into upward facing dog from here. Make your fingers nice and wide. Bring your palms down. Plant your fingers. Inhale, come forward. And there's two ways we can do this. We're going to just lean our chest forward. Full upward facing dog. You're going to come on to the tops of your feet. Note that's all that's touching the ground right now. If that's too much for you, you can keep your knees down. Your thighs slightly touching the ground. Still upward facing dog. So you're either up here or a little bit further down. Exhale, tuck your toes, push your hips back and up. Reach your heels for the ground and your head for the ground, keeping your palms flat on the ground. This is downward facing dog. And we do a lot of downward facing dog. Strengthen the wrists. the number one thing we do to strengthen our wrists and our arms. Come up onto your toes. Reach your head down for the ground. Push your heels back down. Onto your toes. Slowly, very slowly, bend your knees. And you're back to table. Sit back in downward facing dog. Move back in table. Our hands were a little bit further forward. Inhale, come back up to upward facing dog. Tuck your toes. I did it quicker that time. Downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Slowly. Exhale. Slowly. One more time. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. As you exhale, you're reaching your head closer to the ground. Inhale, very slowly bring your knees down. Exhale, sit back in child's pose. Inhale, coming up to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding and breathing. Through your nose, long, deep, even breaths. Now let's walk our feet forward, keeping our hands on the ground, just slowly planting your feet. And as you come closer, you begin to lift your hands. I've brought my feet all the way up between my hands. Release your hands, shake out your arms. And allow your upper body to completely relax as you bounce gently. And slowly roll up your spine. Hands in front of your heart center. As you come up your spine, let's try and make a nice, tall, straight posture. So we're going to just go through a checklist, okay? Bringing our feet together so our feet are touching each other. Lift your toes, spread out your toes as wide as you can, just like we did with our hands before. Plant the pads of each toe. Then as you're coming up, squeeze everything. Squeeze all of your muscles to your bones. As you lift everything up towards the ceiling. Through your crown, feel as if there's a string pulling you from the middle of the top of your head, your crown, all the way up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Then your arms, let your arms hang down. And let them feel as if they're being pulled to the earth by a magnet. Holding everything else as is, bring your hands into prayer position in front of your heart center. This is Namaste position. And that's it for today. For today's video, that is just an introductory sequence. I like to do that before sun salutations. Sun salutations are our typical warm up, but we get to warm everything up a little bit before we start moving and jumping around too much. So, next I'll do some sun salutations and a few other poses in another video. Namaste. I close each session with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Follow along. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti means peace. Namaste. And Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. Have a beautiful, blessed day, bringing yoga peace